Carol Clarke, president of Montague Miller Company Realtors, and welcome to Conversations with some of our agents here at Montague Miller. Today we are talking to Steven Braden, who is our Director of Property Management at Montague Miller. And Steven, it's been about a year since Montague Miller started its property management division. Tell us a little bit about why that decision was made.
Well, it came about as just looking in terms of how to reinvent ourselves in the local market here. We saw real estate in the traditional sense of buyers and sellers struggling to find a meeting together. I mean, a lot of the sellers were seeing their homes sit on the market for a lot longer than in previous years, and so they were turning to what is a good B plan. And a good B plan, although is not, the A plan was to sell their home, and if it didn't sell, oftentimes they would say, what is a good B plan? And that would be to lease the house out. So in that respect, we've seen a lot of inventory that's transferred over from being for sale to being for lease, and that's going to be probably for the next 2 or 3 years yet that we'll see the same inventory pool.
Plus, Charlottesville and Central Virginia really has quite a bit of investment properties. The university seems like students at the university after first or second year like to be in a rental. So we've got not just student rentals, but we've got faculty members that come for short term. So there's always been a pretty heavy demand for rentals in this market, and sellers need owners need an alternative for good property management. Is that correct?
That's right on. A lot of the owners live out of state and even out of country. So I've been dealing with some properties that the owners haven't even been to their property for 8 or 10 years. So
really?
It's been a long time.
What services does the property management division at Montague Miller offer?
Well, it's pretty all-inclusive, and that means that I can take a property that's either in need of some renovation or repair, to take care of the contracting and getting things renovated for them, change out of carpet, change out of paint, repairs, new roofs, new siding, just about anything. That's not what I would like to say is our forte, but it is all encompassing.
Well, you have a little bit of experience in managing properties. You're owning and managing your own property, so I would assume that you know from an owner's perspective what expectations would be, and you apply those same expectations to fulfill for landlords.
Right. I'm trying to set the bar really, really high, but part of that bar being set high is just good communication with the owners, good tenant relationships.
And you find the tenants too, right?
Oh yes, that's the bulk of what we do, is doing all the marketing. Just like if your home were for sale, it would be marketed on a myriad of different websites. All of the advertising goes with that, interviewing of the prospective tenants, and going through the application process, credit report, background checks, just verifying income, verifying previous landlord relationships, and making sure that that tenant candidate is a good possibility for the property, and then drawing up the lease, taking the security deposit, and effectively just transitioning from them being a candidate to a tenant and getting them in place.
So really, from soup to nuts, you can assist property owners who, whether they're resident landlords or non-resident landlords, to rent their property and take care of all of the maintenance issues. They can have hopefully a worry-free investment in Charlottesville.
Well, that's my hope, and I like for them to not have to be concerned one iota that when they do show up and come back in town and see their property, that they have a smile on their face, as opposed to being anything else, any sort of discontent at all. I treat it like we're my own.
Well, that's great. And Steven, thank you so much for being with us today, and we look forward to maybe having some more conversations with you about property management.